Hello guys, here's Programming to Inspire. Welcome to the fifth part of the Connect 4 series. Go into the ball class and create some variables. So public double x and y, public int width and height, public sprite, private double gravity is equal to 3.0, private double y, vel stands for y velocity, is equal to 0.0, private int bounce counter is equal to 0, public boolean in position is equal to false, import sprite. Going to the constructor int, here it is int, and we are going to have double x, double y, and sprite this dot x is equal to x, this dot y is equal to y, this dot width is equal to sprite dot width, this dot height is equal to sprite dot height, this dot sprite is equal to sprite. In the update method, we're gonna have if our ball is not in position, we're gonna change its y velocity plus equals gravity, and y plus equals y velocity. But when it is in place, we won't move it at all. So after that, we're gonna check if there is any collision. So if check collision and create this method. In this method, we're gonna have if y plus height is greater or equal to connect 4 dot height, return true. That's when we bounce from the bottom, and we can also bounce from the bool. So int I is equal to 0, I is less than game dot bools dot size I plus plus. If this is equal to game dot bools dot get I, continue, because we don't want to check if we collided with ourselves. If game dot bools dot get I dot x is equal to this dot x and this dot y is equal to this dot y plus this dot height is greater or equal to game dot balls dot get I dot y, return true, otherwise return false. That's it for this method, I believe. So go inside here, y velocity is going to be times equals minus 0.25, so it's gonna bounce and to the top. Bounce counter is going to be incremented by 1, y is going to be equal to math.floor to wherever we collided, so it can be every 100 pixels. And if bounce counter is equal to 3, we're gonna say that our ball is in position, because we don't want our ball to bounce forever. Y velocity is going to be equal to 0. Now go into the renderer and render method and render sprite and x casted to integer and y casted to integer. Now go into the game class. Inside the same player, we are gonna have if turn is equal to 0 and ball dot sprite is equal to sprite dot ball 2, or turn is equal to 1 and ball dot sprite is equal to sprite dot ball. Return true. So that is going to check if the ball we are checking is the same ball that has played the last move. Now let's go into the update here, and we have to check if balls.size is equal to 0 or balls.get balls.size -1 is in position. In those situations we can create a new ball, so int x is equal to wherever mouse has been clicked, so mouse.get x divided by 100 times 100, so our ball can only spawn every 100 pixels. Boolean, let's check if we can spawn it there, so boolean valid is equal to true, and for int I is equal to 0, I is less than balls.size I plus, if balls.get x is equal to x and balls.get y is equal to 0. So if the column is full, we can't spawn another ball in that column. So false. Valid. This should be valid. And if the move is valid, so there is place to spawn a ball in that column, we're gonna check if it is turn is equal to 0, turn is equal to 1, and balls.add new ball at x position -100 and sprite.ball. Else copy paste that and change this to turn is equal to 0 and this to ball 2. Now let's check if it works. Our collisions are now working. Now we have to only check if it is game over. This is going to be quite a long method, so but if balls.size is less than or equal to 6, return, because it can't be over yet, ball b is equal to balls.get balls.size -1 in position ball, and check if b dot in position. If b is not in position, then we should return as well, because our ball is still moving and we can check if it is game over. The last ball, of course, if int x is equal to int b dot x, copy paste that and change this to y. Now we have x and y of the last ball, and check. Now we are gonna check if it is 4 in a row in any situation with that ball. X axis is equal to 0, x plus is equal to 0, and x minus is equal to 0 is equal to 1. Now copy paste that 3 more times and change this to y, and this to xy, and this to yx. These variables will check if it is 4 in a row. 4 in a row, this will check if it is 4 in the column, and this is going to check in one diagonal line and this in the other one. So we also need some booleans. So boolean streak is equal to true and changed is equal to false. Now, while we have a streak, so there is something still to check. Streak for int I is equal to 0, I is less than balls dot size I plus plus ball is equal to balls dot get I if ball dot x is equal to x plus times 100, because it can be every 100 pixels. Ball dot y is equal to y and the same player. It is the same player, so pass the ball as a parameter. So I'm gonna just check if I write the correctly. Looks like it. Okay, x plus x axis plus and changed is equal to true. Now copy paste this few times, more exactly 7 more times. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Change this to x minus and this to x minus. Here it is going to be y, so y, and this is going to be x and x, and this is going to be y plus and y axis. Copy paste this here and change this to y minus. Now this is going to be a bit different, so it is going to be like this, and here it is going to be x plus xy plus times 100, and here it is going to be xy. So let me check if it is correct. Look like it is. So now x plus, and this is going to be xy axis, xy plus, and now copy paste that and change this to minus and this to minus, and this is going to be minus and minus. Copy paste the last two and copy paste it here. This should be yx plus, and this should be also here yx, and this should be yx minus, so yx minus and yx axis, and this should be like this, minus and plus, I believe. Now we could check this out if it works. So we can't do anything. So let's system.out.println game over. It's not game over because we haven't set it to game over, but it is now closed in the while loop. So after we set this, we are gonna check if anything changed. So changed streak is equal to false, and else changed is equal to false streak. After this, we're gonna have x-axis. We're gonna check if x-axis is greater or equal to 4, or y-axis is greater or equal to 4, or xy axis is greater or equal to 4, or y-axis is greater or equal to 4. This means that it is game over. And it is also game over if there is 42 balls and it's actually a draw if there is more than 42 balls. So balls dot size is greater or equal to 42. Turn is equal to -1, so we know nobody won. Game over is equal to true, and game over is equal to true here as well. Let's check if we can make something now. And now it works. Now we're gonna also display something when it is game over. So let's get into if render text. If it is game over, g.set rendering hints to rendering hints dot key anti-aliasing, and rendering hints dot value anti-alias on g.set color dot black, g.set font new font Arial 1 and 120 string as game over is equal to game over, string as winner is equal to nothing yet because we are gonna check who won. So turn is equal to 0, as winner is going to be a red player, so red wins. If it is turn is equal to 1, else it is a green one that won. Green won, I believe. Won. And otherwise, if turn is equal to -1, as winner is going to be no one. So it's a tie. Int ig is equal to g.get font matrix dot get string width of the game over divided by 2. That's a variable that will help us render our game over on the middle. So g.draw string game game over at x position connect 4 dot width divided by 2 minus ig and 100. Here it is only one equal sign. Now copy paste this and first create g.set font to a new font Arial and 1 and 100, so it is going to be a bit smaller, and copy paste this now and import font. This is going to be IT, and this one is going to be as winner. Copy paste this to here as well, and this to IT. Now check it out. Now we have to correct this one, so this is going to be at 360. One is going to be at 180. Now let's check some other positions of game over. This one doesn't work for some reason, so we made a mistake somewhere. Let's check. Here it should be 1 minus x minus, and here it should be minus y minus. Here it should be minus. Let's check it out now. So this one should work. And this one works as well. This one works as well, and this one works as well. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.